Yeah, well, that bad beats happen every day. So it's amazing how we can make analogies from poker parallel to everything in life that we experienced, and there's almost an exact thing happened in the poker scenario that we have faced already. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you mentioned just now about your poker shares and you mentioned cryptocurrency, bitcoins. What is your strategy about making these cryptocurrency investments and any advices to people who have always been thinking about trying to invest in cryptocurrency but never tried?
Yeah, I mean, so my biggest belief in cryptocurrency, I suppose, that I talk about is I just try to, let's say tomorrow you like looked at an alien came to Earth and they could look at money versus cryptocurrency, or something, or the world tomorrow was looking, how should we have money be created? I kind of think the scenario, like I think almost no matter what country you live in, it's very difficult to have that much trust for your government. You can like some politicians, but you still might not feel that they'll allocate funds properly. You might not trust that they have their citizens' best interests. I think from anywhere in the world, I think it's really difficult to have 100% faith in your government. And I think the idea that your money, like if let's say, if I'm in Canada, okay, my bank account's in Canadian dollars. My house feels unrelated to that, but my house, it's kind of denominated in Canadian dollars. Like if Canada gets, invaded by someone, okay, my title of land ownership is worth nothing. If I have a car, it's titled in Canada. It's like everything is basically denominated in Canadian dollars. And it's kind of when these, politicians are fighting such kind of corrupt battles, it's sort of why should everything I have be tied to my government? So I think my interest in Bitcoin, more so than in the cryptography or any other element of it, is just it's a form of money that it's valued by the community rather than valued by one major authority. And I just think that, to me, that just makes more sense. It just makes more, if I were to envision what things will look like 60 years from now or 100 years from now, instead of it being 0.1% of the world's, money is denominated in something that's outside of government, I don't see why it shouldn't be 50% or 90% or 100% kind of thing, where it just doesn't really seem to make sense to me that so many people have so much trust for money in their bank account, for money that's insured by their government, etc. And thus far, so little trust in something that's censorship resistant, something that is valued anywhere in the world, etc. And so that's kind of my thesis on my favorite thing about Bitcoin it's I think the ideals of it, the ideals of how money works in most countries, to me feels kind of dated. And if we were to reinvent money tomorrow, I don't think we would do it the same way. And I think it's just I think it's somewhat likely that this will just sort of be a wave where things, people come to Bitcoin for the price and they stay for the revolution, I suppose, where it's like everyone, it seems like the more time I spend around it, the more time I spend thinking about it, the more that, it just seems to make more sense to me than how traditional money works. And then in that regard, I think anyone who bought Bitcoin 2016 or earlier, unless you were like a very bad trader, has had a decent.
There's no way to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm usually, not like there are occasional times when I'll short Bitcoin, but it's pretty rare. And, I'm a big believer in it overall. So I'm usually just kind of, at certain times I'll think, okay, it seems reasonable to sell some here or whatnot, but I'm usually just always more interested in buying than selling kind of thing. And that's kind of, I don't think I'm, overly sophisticated in that regard, but I'm just a big believer in Bitcoin in general.
I heard that you've been doing some campaign and some activities, like trying to build a team, something like that, to treat with you. Do you want to share more about that?
Yeah, so I mean, I may have undersold my trading a little bit. I run an algo trading Bitcoin fund, and we trade a couple hundred different altcoins across most major exchanges, and I don't even know what most of this shit does. We have we have very small amounts of a lot of these coins, but we're just kind of always arbitraging them across exchanges, kind of with the general idea of take profit in Bitcoin, take profit in USDT, etc. And so that. I don't make that many kind of big trades, but if I were to look, I've probably made 10,000 trades today or something, something like that. We do a lot of trades, but we're not. The general thesis is just have that be an avenue to accumulate Bitcoin. And so then touching on kind of building a team of traders, with this Bybit competition. I've gotten a lot of friends through poker who are somewhat into crypto trading, and then also some friends, doing similar things to I am, which are spending all their time on crypto trading and running various crypto trading operations and whatnot. And I just thought this was a cool format. I want to get a lot of my friends, both from poker and crypto, involved, and kind of I think a lot of poker players, even if they're not the best traders, they're still good at kind of looking at payout structures. You're used to playing a winner-take-all tournament. You're used to playing a satellite where top 15 all play the same. You're used to playing a super KO bounty where you care more about knocking guys out than you do about winning the tournament. We're used to like roll with the punches. The chip leader's here. We've got to adjust to his stack and whatnot. We're used to those things where it's like I think this Bybit trading competition, it's not that much. It's closer to a poker tournament than it feels, kind of.
Yeah, another analogy.
Yeah, there's so many analogies. Like I know. Like speaking of playing blackjack with my dad used to be, he was never that good at poker or anything, but he was one of the best tournament blackjack players in the world. Where it's just like he sort of realized blackjack is similar to poker, but everyone thinks of poker as a skill game, so people go and focus that way. But everyone thinks of blackjack as a luck and gambling game. But tournament blackjack is just as much skill as tournament poker. You have to like analyze your bet sizing, like pay attention to position, and it's all about just kind of maintaining slightly higher stack sizes than your opponents and like upping the volatility when you're behind, lowering it when you're ahead. And so, there's whenever you just have a payout structure, you can kind of alter any game based on that payout structure. So I think that's, we're going to have a Telegram group to kind of discuss how the team's doing. I'm going to try to get as many people that I know involved as possible. And yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. Like I like seeing kind of innovation within the space. Poker players all love overlay, and this Bybit thing, they're giving like a $2 million overlay, which you never see that in poker. In poker, it's like there's a $50,000 overlay, and you have 500 guys on social media all being like, "Come for the overlay, come for the overlay." And it's here the multi-million-dollar overlay is just. I don't know if I've ever seen that in poker. It's pretty incredible.
Exciting. How are they supposed to like find your team and know how to join you?
Right. So, my Twitter's Mike McDonald 89. If any of them already follow me, or if they don't, you can just go there and I'll be posting out kind of links for both, to Bybit site to join the team and also to the Telegram group. Like I'm sure there'll be people who aren't even participating who just kind of want to see what people are talking about and whatnot. So we'll just kind of talk about, team strategy there, talk about how we're going to approach this competition, et cetera, and just kind of use that as the platform to talk about it.